Welcome back to ciLiving. The Scovill Zoo's Boo at the Zoo celebration is already underway, and we have a special animal ambassador that is perfect for the spooky season. Joining me now are Heather Purdeu and Ryan Kirkland. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And who is this friend you've brought along?
This is Max, our Boa Constrictor.
And so can you tell me a little bit about boa constrictors and how long do they live? What do they eat?
They can live up to 40 years. They're carnivorous. They're very opportunistic. So in the wild, they would eat just about anything they could catch. Could be monkeys, rats. They're somewhat arboreal, so they can climb trees very easily.
So, okay, you said monkeys. So how big of an, like how big compared to how big they are can they eat? Can they catch?
A general rule of thumb, they say, is a snake can eat something that would be about the size of the thickest part of their body.
Okay, gotcha. So in this case, he's pretty big. How big do they get? How long are they when they're full grown?
12 feet, 10 feet would be kind of normal, but there are some extremes where they could get bigger than that.
And we're kind of getting a close-up right now of like the scale and the pattern. So can you talk a little bit about snake skin and what this pattern indicates in the wild?
Well, I mean, this would be what they would use the coloration to help them blend in so they could hide from whatever they might be trying to eat or just trying to protect themselves from if another carnivore was nearby and they wanted to try and keep themselves concealed.
And so they have a defense mechanism, right? So what is their main defense? Are they venomous? Do they bite things? Are they ambush? How does it work?
They're not venomous, but they do have very sharp, recurved teeth that they can bite with if they feel threatened by something. And they are constrictors, so they would wrap around whatever their prey is and squeeze it. They used to say that they would suffocate their food, but now they think it's more actually stopping the heart.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so that's how they would, especially if something was bigger than them, I imagine it probably takes a lot of effort. And it seems like snakes are just kind of one solid big muscle here.
Yes.
And this is a very active snake. He's been kind of docile and wrapped up the whole time, and then now that we've gotten him out, he's come out to say hi for sure. So how do snakes reproduce?
Just like
Is it
other animals.
Right, but I mean more like, do they lay eggs? Do they give live birth?
Red-tailed boa constrictors like him, they actually, it's kind of like the eggs stay inside their body, and then when they're ready to hatch, live babies come out instead of them just laying an egg.
I know some sharks do that as well. It's like oviviparous or something like that, right?
Yes.
Okay, very cool. And so let's see, we've talked about, where do they live generally?
Central and South America, and they are tropical, so they would live in jungles.
In jungles, all right. And then I see he keeps flicking out his tongue really fast. Is that how he is tasting things? Is he just sort of exploring?
Snakes have an organ called the Jacobson's organ in the roof of their mouth that they flick their tongue out and pick up little particles out of the air, and it's basically how they smell. They have an excellent sense of smell because of that.
Oh, interesting.
And the fork in the tongue actually can help them tell which direction whatever it is they're smelling came from.
Really? That's fascinating. I'm so curious. Okay, so the fork is what tells the direction. Do you know, like, further deeper into how that works?
Not really.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, but that's so fascinating. Look at that. Let's see if he'll lick my card. See what direction my card is coming from. Yeah. You can tell, though, that he can definitely tell because he's moving around and definitely exploring. And then, Heather, there are a lot of events coming up at the zoo, right? You're closed for regular season, but you have things like Boo at the Zoo happening, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we reopen again on Thursday. We had our first weekend of Boo at the Zoo, and Saturday was a little rainy, but we did have some guests that came out and still with their umbrellas and enjoyed the day. We reopened Thursday evening, and so we'll run the 23rd through the 26th, and then we open again next Wednesday and Thursday, so the 29th and the 30th, those evenings.
And what kind of events can people expect if they come to Boo at the Zoo?
They can either collect treats or not collect treats. So most parents, the kids are collecting the treats and they are not. However, anyone's welcome to collect treats if they would like to. And we have 10 trick-or-treat stations through the zoo. We do still have some animals out in their habitats. We've had people ask about that. It is supposed to get cooler, so some of our animals, unfortunately, are probably getting moved indoors this week. But we still have, we have our mountain lions, our wolves, our cheetahs, and then, of course, our reptile building that people can go inside and see. You're able to purchase train or carousel once you arrive after you check in. And we are asking everyone to reserve those tickets for Boo at the Zoo online. And then they can purchase the train or carousel once they arrive.
Perfect. That was my next question is, do you have to have a ticket in advance or can you buy tickets when you get to the door? So it's better to get them in advance.
It's better to get them in advance, but we wouldn't turn anyone away either.
Of course. If you just show up,
Yes.
you can still buy that ticket. And then is it a dress-up event or...
Yeah, we encourage everyone to come in their costumes. Of course, if you don't have a costume or if it's really cold and they have their coats on over their costumes, we understand that as well. But we love seeing all the kids. We have a lot of blueies, a lot of superheroes. K-pop, is new this year.
Right.
And it's amazing to see how some families especially come up with these, family themed. And one of them I could think of, like they did the Haunted Mansion,
Oh,
Disney's
fun.
Haunted,
All right.
Duck Dynasty groups. So we love seeing those. It's always fun. And the homemade costumes, it's great to see what people can come up with.
And that's really funny that you mentioned the coat over because I remember that as a kid, having the costume and then having to wear your coat over top. And I would just fight with my parents about but I want people to see my costumes. Then you try and put it underneath and that's great. Well, thank you both so much for being here and for all of this information. What a great animal for Halloween to bring a snake. It reminds me of the Jungle Book.
Yes.
You remember, what was it? Was Shere Khan the lion? I don't remember the snake's name.
Khan.
Yeah, the snake. Well, thank you both so much.
Thank you.